Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to Parenting Collective, the space where overwhelmed meets supported, where sleepless nights meet real solutions, and where we remind each other that parenting isn't meant to be done alone, even if it sometimes feels that way. I'm your host, Donna Moala. I'm a certified secure sleep specialist, conscious parenting and relationship coach, proud mum of 3 teenage girls, married to my husband Dave, and your go-to girl for keeping it real when it comes to raising little and big humans without losing your mind in the process. Here at Parenting Collective, we get real, raw, and a little soulful. And yes, a little cheeky. Each week, I sit down with experts in their field, from sleep to child behaviour, relationships to self-care, all the stuff that actually matters when you're in the thick of it. No judgment, no perfect parent pressure, just honest chats, expert wisdom, and a whole lot of support. So grab that lukewarm coffee, take a deep breath, and let's figure this parenting gig out together. You're not alone, and you've just found your people. Welcome, Kris, to the Parenting Collective.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Gosh, I know. What a whirlwind. So
Right.
you're here in Perth,
I
which
am.
is so exciting, our beautiful hometown. But you've had our beautiful Eloise look after your kiddos.
What a connection.
What a funny
So
connection.
cool. It's so crazy how the world works and how everything just came together. The stars have aligned for
So
us today.
did.
But yeah, Eloise has been amazing. My little ones have loved spending time with her. She's so beautiful.
She's awesome.
And yeah, they're having a good time. She was there at 7 o'clock this morning and
I
I'm
know.
like, okay, bye.
She said to me, "Oh, Mum, you're meeting up with Kris. I have to go be there at 7 in the morning." And I'm like, "Oh, sorry, babes." But yeah, so then Heidi, which is fantastic, and then yesterday I just said, "Hey, let's go to a studio." So
Yeah,
here we
why
are.
not?
Which is
Here we are, better than
fantastic.
Zoom.
Oh my
Love
gosh.
Zoom. Still
Totally.
potency. Can like drop in with podcasts. As you know, I have my own podcast,
Yes.
and it's just like, you know what? When it's in person, you really feel the energy with the other person, the guest, the person that's interviewing.
Love
you.
it.
Yeah, so
And this is actually my first studio. Like I've had
sick.
one small one, but this is,
Yes.
I was actually just about to be able to do it here in Perth a bit. Yeah. it's
awesome.
so
You're gonna
good.
love
So
it.
you're
You're gonna
my-
love the energy. You're gonna love the results you get from it. Like
Love
it's
it.
just a different vibe, and you want more of it every time.
I can't wait. So I'd love to share, I'd love for you to share a little bit of your backstory. Of course, you've got a big backstory, I'm sure, talking about parenting, step parenting, mindset coach that you are, and have lots of similarities in the way that we think. So yeah, if you wouldn't mind sharing to the listeners a bit of your backstory.
Yeah, of course. So on the surface, I have my beautiful husband, Steve, my 4 kids. I've got 2 stepdaughters in there. They are in year 9 and year 8. And then I have my 2 littlies, Jessie and Lola. Jessie is in year 1 now and Lola goes into kindergarten next year. Bit of a whirlwind, bit of an age gap
Busy.
there.
Yeah.
Busy as always. It was teenagers and toddlers for a minute. Now it's teenagers and mini terrorists, I like to say. My little ones are very busy kids.
Yes.
And look, I have a very, very close relationship with my stepdaughters. We have an unbreakable bond, and I'm very, very proud and feel really honoured to be a part of raising them. But to take it all back to you and share the journey, I suppose it started with me. It started with me being 8 years old and having my parents divorce, going through that. It started with my mum repartnering later in life when I was about 12 years old. I moved in with a man with 2 kids. He had 2 sons, one 12 months older, one 12 months younger
it.
about. And I had brothers. I had, people and a family, and it was blended and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
That relationship unfortunately didn't last at that time. It was heartbreaking when it ended. And I grieved the loss of my stepbrothers because we were also really, really close. So I suppose for me, blended and step parents were normalized.
Yeah.
It wasn't something I was afraid of, and it wasn't something that it felt uncommon. It was
enjoyed it.
And like people got divorced, people break up. It was something uncommon for a lot of people in my life because I was one of the only kids in my primary school who had a divorced family
Really?
at that time.
Gosh, now it's like the other way around.
Correct.
Yeah.
My dad, when he was in my life, he's no longer in my life, and I'm open about that as well. I can speak more on that if
I'd
if
like
it comes
to
up.
actually because of, generational patterns, traumas.
Yeah.
you
Well,
know.
he's not in my life now, but
By choice, your choice?
My choice.
Yeah.
Yep, my choice. And he had partners when I was little, different girlfriends. There's 3 that come to mind that I can recall. One tried because she had a son, but she wasn't a very healthy-minded person.
Right.
And the others weren't very open to me and my brother at the time.
And that's tough.
It is tough.
And preteens to teens, that is a big thing to reflect on.
I remember one woman when dad was telling her to leave, basically, she turned around to me and she goes, I hope you're happy now. And I was like, what do you mean? What did I do?
Yeah.
You're
and
the
were you
asshole.
14, 15, can you remember?
A bit younger than that. No, I would have been in primary school.
Oh,
no.
that's even worse.
Yeah, and I remember she said something like, because we'd sleep on a mattress in the lounge room and it was always just like, you're only here every second weekend. You don't need a room. Like, we're not paying rent for a room for your kids. And so those moments and those notions and those narratives and that shame and that guilt that played such a big part of my experience as a little girl, whilst I had mum normalising blended families and a stepdad and a step family and, these are my brothers, we are a family, and mum went and got a 5-bedroom house. She went and bought one with this man. She went and got a Tarago to drive around in so that everyone could have room in a car. Like, I'm not driving a fucking Tarago.
There's some hot ones.
I review.
Lexus,
Yeah. There's options, but what I found was mum was normalising this environment and normalising my comfortability in this, and whereas the women that I was experiencing in my life were also having me bring my consciousness and awareness to, I don't ever want to be this person. I don't want this to happen to a child in my life. So, whilst at 10, 11, 12, I wasn't going, hey, I'm going to be a stepmom when I grow up.
Totally. You wouldn't have seen that, and you'd probably think you wouldn't want that maybe.
Well, it was never not that I wanted it. That wasn't even an option for me. It was just normalised. I wasn't afraid of it.
Okay. Even when your dad was doing that with all the women.
Yeah, that with all the women.
Well, my dad's, I've got a story too.
Yeah. Okay,
obviously very different, but I understand, that is completely bipolar, I was going to say, polar opposites, isn't it really?
Yes.
So keep going with that.
Yeah, so I suppose it was normalised, and then I met Steve and we fell in love. Yeah. We were friends for a long time, which was really beautiful. And then I did know the girls I grew to get closer to him over time, and we got together. And then things sort of went really quickly from there, moved in together. I've always said I didn't just fall in love with him. I fell in love with his daughters.
Yeah.
And,
that's beautiful.
I'm so grateful to be a part of their lives in the way that I am. So I'm grateful that I met them at the age that I did.
How old were they?
They were 4 and 6.
Oh, that's a nice little age.
Yeah, so out of nappies, out of bottles and things like that.
That in between, and before they get to the pre-teens.
Yeah, and I think they were just so open to me as well, which was really
beautiful.
special. So they're beautiful girls. We've got 50-50, so we have them week on, week off. As you know, we're here in Perth without them. This is the longest I have been away from them, and since they were little. It's interesting, it's the same for them, and I've spoken to them a couple of times. Haven't wanted to sort of harass them because they're getting some extra time with their mum, which is nice for them. But just spoke to them this morning, and they're like, "What time will you be home though?" And I was like, "I want to see you too. I really miss you guys, and I don't like being away from you for this long, and I probably won't do it again because they're on my mind a lot. It's like, what are they doing? Well, what is it cold there? I don't know, just little things.
Oh, well, they are, and they are yours. I know that's probably haven't delved deep into that, I suppose, myself. I don't have a lot of people that are in step situations, but I can only imagine that they feel like yours, even though they're not blood yours.
They do,
I could imagine that.
When you do all the same things.
Yeah, the love.
But then you go, oh, no, now you go. And then you come back, and now you go, and then you come back.
Hard.
And what we're going through at the moment is I'm noticing it's not impacting in a negative way. Like, no one can control this. It's so normal. But for other women that might be in it, my little ones are noticing that they have to somehow split me when sissies come home.
Oh, okay.
So sissies come home and they want time with me. They want to talk. They want to tell me about their week. They've got stories. They've got experiences. And, in the same time, I've got my 5 and 6-year-old coming home from school wanting to tell me about their day, and their stuff's, Jesse's telling me about a friend that fell over and then he helped him. Yeah. It's not an important story, but relative. But for him, it's important. And Sissy's like, I'm in the middle of talking to mum about something. Like, let me speak. I haven't seen her for a week.
Yes.
And for him to then feel like, oh, can I not speak when you're like, because you haven't seen her for a week, and just noticing that we're finding a different way to deal with things and work things out.
And always change, I think, like I said, it's your family. So even if it's only 50-50, they're still family.
Oh, of course.
And the thing is, having to find a new norm all the time, I would say.
Yeah,
if I put myself in your position thinking just having so many children in your house, it changes all the time.
It does.
And it must be harder. How do you kind of... it's probably a bit of a tough question, but obviously when you have step kids and you're 50-50, each house is different. Mm-hmm. So there would be that little bit of adjustment for the kids, but also adjustment for how maybe the other parent parents in the other house, and can you deep dive into that a little bit?
Oh, for sure. Look, I think that the way to visualize it or adapt for an adult to consider how it might be for a child is they're wearing two hats. So they've got the hat that they wear at mum's and then the hat that they wear at dad's. Whilst both houses are healthy, happy, all the things, there's different caps. You've got different expectations, different lifestyle choices, different ingredients, or there's milk in the fridge at one and then someone forgot to buy milk. And how are they supposed to know that there was no milk? And they just wanted cereal, so they're throwing a tantrum because there's no cereal.
Like,
little things like this, like just the intricacies that we don't really consider, I think. For me, there's a 24-hour period, and now that my little ones are getting that bit older, I'm communicating with them. Sissies are home tomorrow, and they're so excited. Like, oh my God, we count the hours down when sissies are coming. But I don't like to project that onto the girls because then they feel I don't want them feeling responsible to having to make the little ones happy when they're home. So they can just come home to their home and be free to do what they need to do.
And they naturally just get along.
They all. Yeah, they're siblings. Siblings, normal shit.
Yes, and siblings should argue. That's what happens, and they should have as they get older, they want that independence.
Yes.
That's another tough thing, as they get to that sort of teen. So
look, and I think that the 24 hours of grace has always been worked really well in our house, where I will communicate on both sides. Hey, girls, your brother and sister haven't seen you for a week. They're really missing you. When you get home from school, would you mind? Let's 30 minutes, phones down, no tech time. I know you've had a big day at school. It's probably been a big week. And then after 30 minutes of time where they're just they're not distracted, it's like I'll then take over. And I'm happy to take over from the start if need be. Communicate it. Here's the open table. Yep. Tell me what you need. Awesome. I've had a bad day. I want to be alone. I've had a bad day. I want to go call my mum. I've had a bad day. I just need you. Yep. I don't want to talk about it. What can we, or can we go do this afternoon? Like, talk about it is really important.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
To manage everyone's expectations. And now for Jessie and Lola at the ages they're at, I'll have a chat. Hey, when sissies get in the car, you know how me and you have had this 10 minutes to talk about your day, and you've told me what you got up to, and I've asked lots of questions. Yep. When sissies get in the car, just remember I haven't seen them for lots of days, and they're going to have lots of days stuff to tell me. Yep. And they might want to tell you some stuff too. So can we put our listening ears on? So we have those conversations to make it a little bit easier and seamless with that 24-hour grace period, because there's often big feelings from everyone. There's often everyone's tired from the week. I'm tired from the week.
There's more people in the house.
It's louder. We are really lucky in our home. The property we bought a couple of years ago, there was a shed that we converted into a beautiful, incredible, spoiled rotten, my two girls, teenage retreat. So they've got a little two-bedder down the back.
Oh, my gosh, stop.
They do. They're brand new.
That's really awesome.
I know, their bathroom's nicer than mine, and I'm not
maybe you have to
staying.
go there sometimes. When they're not there, you might, go stay down there.
So they've got space. The point, is that they need, and normal families don't have this, but we do have capacity to create
normal
space.
Family.
Well, we are, but when Sissy's like, I just want time on my own, I'm like, cool. Yeah, in a normal household, you just be going downstairs to have time on your own. You're actually going into a completely other location.
Oh, totally.
So just be mindful of that. Like, just invest time with your brother and sister, and they do. They're amazing with them.
So good.
When we came over, my oldest actually, I don't think she'll mind me saying this. I don't share too much about the intricacies, but she gave the kids 2 teddies and put her cuddles in the teddies, so that you cuddle the teddy and that's my cuddles if you miss me.
That's love right there.
That
is love right there.
She's so thoughtful and
so
so
beautiful.
Fucking beautiful to do that.
So beautiful.
It makes me cry. Why am I crying? So weird. So
random. Because it's really those small things. Is as parents we get so busy, and you're an entrepreneurial woman, and you want to look after yourself as well, and that's what we all want to do. But those small things are they're not even glimmers. They're actually the heart of what she is. For her to do that,
to think
on
to
her
do
own
it,
bat, like you didn't ask her to do that.
To consider that, to know that might help them if they're feeling sad, to know that might help her if she was feeling sad. And look, she's absolutely totally fine, but they've cuddled those teddies to sleep every night. And
she'll love hearing that if she ever hears it. That's so beautiful. And the thing is, me being in the conscious parenting, conscious relationship space, and obviously sleep's always very important. Having 3 teenage daughters, gone through mental health, there's a whole story on that. But the evolution of becoming a conscious parent is just being aware of us, and it changed the dynamic of our home. So we were older parents, we are older people being raised very traditionally, which most people still are, even in their 40s. And so it was working until it didn't work, And this is what I say to my parents is like communication. So don't stop that, like you just sort of think, I've got a parent, so do this, we're going to do this. but then it breaks down. And then when you get to the pre-teens, teens, 14, it can be absolutely disastrous. So the biggest thing that I say to everyone when they start to get rough on the edges and, want to be on their phones and be by themselves, that's really normal, but having that communication, just don't stop that.
100%. We had a talk only recently. There was a word when they were younger when they wanted to leave a party or a sleepover that we used, a code word. We came up with that because sometimes they'd have a feeling they were embarrassed to be around people and didn't want everyone to think they were weird for choosing to leave or asking to go somewhere. And, it was my way of being like, no questions asked. Let's do the thing, whatever you need. And we had another conversation. There's been lots of things happening in the world, on social media. You're seeing a lot of things and kids in situations that they shouldn't be. That terrifies me. I won't go into it too deep, but I was almost in a situation recently that I was caught very off guard by. And had I not been more aware at the time to step backwards, there is a solid chance that I would have been seriously hurt by someone. The person wasn't mentally well. It was. I can't even shift blame. I can't even say this person. This person wasn't well. It's
just
not
fucking scary, is what that is.
It was terrifying.
You don't think like that. You don't live in a space like that. And if something's come that close, that's really scary.
I'm a person that walks the dog at 4 a.m. and my dog's hectic, but
that's
I'm
crazy.
Confident.
A Staffy I saw.
Yeah, American Staffy. She's
we got a little fat English one, but
the most loyal thing in the world.
They are.
Yeah. So I walk the dog. And she'll get her ears up and I'll just stand there ready to go. I'm like, if you're going to come now. The dog will murder you. You can have a try. Let's go. So I've always thought I was quite confident in those moments. And if it threatened, then I'd be okay. Yep. But this one got me rattled a bit. And it was in a situation where my girls are often with their friends and in a similar social setting where this could come and happen to them. I was grateful that none of the kids were with me. It's the only time that I've been to that shopping centre in the last 12 months. Without a child.
Jeez.
Only time. I'm so grateful no child was with me.
Poor you.
I'm grateful that I was able to remove myself without being hurt. But what that did change the way that I was thinking at that time. I had some big conversations with them and I just said, this is the code word. You use the code word at any fucking point. We're going to reinforce this again. Because life's scary and you're at an age where life can change really quickly.
I don't want to think like that either.
Yeah.
And was that something that happened in the I know you probably don't want to dive into it. Was it something on social media? Or was it someone who just saw you?
No, I didn't realise I was alone, but I was alone in a car park and someone approached me. Yeah. Right, okay. Yeah, from very quickly and, my gosh. And very violently.
Well, you need to talk about that because it's women. It's women that... that's awful. Sorry to bring it up. I can tell you've got post-traumatic stress with it. Do you know why? Because having all girls for me and I've always been someone who's been super aware with that stuff, but I don't think they are because they live in a bubble and it just happens so fucking quick.
It happens quickly. I think I've done so much work on myself and my healing and self-love and embodiment and all the fucking things, been to the depths of my darkest shadows, right, to find where I need to be. And it triggered past traumas from assault. So what came up was...
you'd been assaulted before.
I have been assaulted by women in the past.
Oh, geez.
Which is horrific.
Terrible.
But by someone I deeply cared for that created a lot of the trauma when I was younger.
Oh, gosh.
And that triggered those... No, it's almost like it simmered down. So when it was really bad, that's when I went and did the work on myself. That's when things started because I wasn't sleeping, wasn't eating, wasn't showering, wasn't living really. And it was, I was quite young, maybe 18, 19.
Yeah, well.
Maybe before that, if I'm honest. I can't really remember. But this brought up the fears and nothing rattles me. No one rattles me. And this brought up some rattling and that bothered me. That pissed me off, to be honest. I was like, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I did the work. What do you mean? I've been so good.
Yeah,
I've healed all this shit. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So it's just an interesting thing that I've had to go and now navigate myself personally. Yep. I'm still moving through it and I'm not putting myself in situations where that could happen. It needs to be an awareness brought to the table.
Yes, that's why I think, look, I have had lots of pretty shitty things happen and as I've got older, I 1,000,000% believe it happens for a reason. The only thing I don't believe happens for a reason I don't understand is if children get sick or ill or die. I don't understand that. All the other shitty things, I can look back and it's a growth. So that is really horrific that you went through that, and the person that you are, you will continue to heal from that, and you will talk about it. You will talk about it to save other women.
1000%.
You will, because if you don't, again, it sort of does give me goosebumps, is that, like you said, you had the tools, you're a strong woman, you're like, you know, fuck everyone type of thing if you go near me, and that person got way too close for comfort.
Yep.
And that's something that when you're ready, I think can save other people.
Yeah, also interesting is I'm very good at dissolving my triggers, very good at dissolving emotions.
You've got the tools.
Neutrality at its finest. I'm good at it. Doesn't faze me. You want to yell at me, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, ew, why are you beeping your horn at me? That's gross.
Yeah,
like I'm just like whatever. But after this particular experience, and we're divulging now a little bit to a different topic, but after this experience, there's been a couple of instances where people have said something untoward or slightly disrespectful, and I'm being like, hold up. And normally I would avoid it. I'd be like, don't worry about it. I don't want to deal with that. That's your problem, not mine. And I was like, excuse me, that's not okay.
Good on you.
So it's also given me a bit of a, I don't know,
Boundaries.
pushing tipping edge, it feels like.
Totally. And I think that, well, again, sort of my journey is total fucking people pleaser my whole life. Reformed. Still am. I still am.
She was an addict.
I was an addict. But and it takes a long time to put that no. I'm not fully not there yet. I mean, it's probably take my whole life, but it is very empowering, and it's also the things that have happened to me in my life I can now authentically, vulnerably share to help other people.
Love it.
And 4 or 5 years ago, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have even. I would have been so embarrassed, So as awful as it was, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, no, I'm all good.
And that's awful. We did sort of divert into another.
That was the word I was looking for earlier.
Yeah, totally. So a couple of questions around sort of step parenting, because obviously it's something that I love that you're talking about, because people don't often do that. What would be something that you would share that would be one of your favourite parts of being a stepmom?
Oh, gosh.
I know, so many, I'm sure.
My favourite thing about being a stepmom is being, I suppose, cracked open to a different type of love.
Totally.
So one of the things a lot of people have said over the years is, you'll never love them like you love your own.
Do people say that?
To
your face?
Yeah.
Stop
You couldn't
it.
love them like your own though, right? Like, and I call bullshit on that,
Totally.
because
I would call
mine
bullshit.
I love unconditionally because they came from me, are a part of me, came out of me. There is that immediate love for them. When I had my son, so this was, how old was Cal? I can't remember. She was 12. I think they're 6 years, or maybe more apart. No, I don't know. Whatever. I'm not good at maths.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I had him, and I was waiting for the thing to happen when I had him, and I'm like waiting for the magic, the love, the thing that everyone talks about. And I was like,
It's going to be so different.
have I got it wrong? Do I have postnatal depression?
Yeah.
Like, what's coming up for me right now? And I really got curious with that, and I was like, it wasn't that. It's that I already loved like a mum, right?
Yeah, that's so beautiful.
I already loved unconditionally. The only piece that I would say is different, and that I love so much about it, is that I love by choice. And when you love by choice,
true.
right? It's not your husband or partner that
Yeah.
you're choosing to love
Kids to
another
choose.
man. You're choosing these
that's
kids
beautiful.
time and time again, consistently choosing them and choosing the pieces of you that weren't chosen. And that is evidence to me that I'm on the right path.
Oh my gosh, totally. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it must be tricky as a mum's brain, I would think, and again, this is just my brain going there, that you love them as your own, and with that comes you can put the boundaries on, as like if I'm looking at my parent and my children, like I'm all out with the boundaries, with the positive discipline, with whatever, but do you ever find it a bit tricky when you're only 50-50 for the discipline, and look, I don't want to be, you can't be besties with them. You want to love them, but you still have to be the mum.
Yeah,
the mum figure in the
I will
house.
always tell them I'm here to be your parent, not your friend.
Good,
because this is something they relay back to me. They're like, you're our parent, because I can't say I'm your mum.
No,
but I can say I'm your parent, and I'll act as one.
Okay,
and this is my job to keep you safe. You might not like this. You might not be happy with this. But they're very respectful in that way. They're very good. They listen to what I have to say. There's probably been one occasion I can think of where there was the crossover in the afternoon of heading off to mum's, and I'd threaten, stop the way you're speaking to each other, or you're going to lose your technology at mum's. And they're like, no, like you can't do that. And I was like, I fucking can. Watch me. Like, no, you're not taking it. It's not on. You can't treat each other that way in this house. I've warned you all week. And they lost it, and they couldn't believe that I'd done it. And they're like, "But we're going to Mum's." I'm like, "I'll drop it to Mum's. I'll bring it up.
Yeah.
Mum's not far, so that's convenient for us." It's like, "I'll bring it up, but you guys need a break." And what do you know? Mum texts my husband that night with a photo of them. They'll sleeping in the same bed together. They played together all night happily. So it's like, beautiful. Little instances like that where, and then I'm reminded, hey, I was just the parent and I made the right call, because I sat in so much discomfort doing that. I don't like to make calls that are going to push over to Mum's time, because I think that's disrespectful without having a conversation. Totally. I don't want to control or be authoritative, right?
Yeah, totally.
Because that's not done to me, so I'm not doing that back. And that just doesn't happen between houses.
That's good.
But on this occasion, it would cross over, and it might impact things. It might have impacted their moods. It might, that's not cool. Tricky. But in the same instance, I had to make the right call in that moment. I was in a rush to go somewhere else. It wasn't something that I could have a conversation on, but it worked out fine. But I did feel very guilty after.
Yeah, because you want the relationship with the other family or husband or wife to be as amicable as possible, I presume.
Yeah.
But I also have heard, obviously working in the space that I do, I have worked with lots of split families and stuff like that, and sometimes it's just not amicable.
Oh, for sure.
So, and my mind goes that if someone did that the person in the other house would go, no, that's not happening in this house, because you
absolutely. And
so
I've had so many clients where they're in similar circumstances, and unfortunately the biological parent may be still in a negative headspace in their own life, and they want to create control, or they want to shame the kids or shame that other parent that's trying to be authoritative and trying to do the job as a parent in their own home. There is that crossover that my clients go through. So I can really understand and sympathize that, it is really hard to make these calls sometimes. Totally. But something I'm often reminding people is, this is your home. Yep. You can, if you're open to it, have a convo with the other parent before you do it. Let them know you've done it, whatever that needs to look like. I was going to
say, what would be your tip?
But at the end of the day, my tip is, do what's best for you in your house with your stepchildren.
Yes.
You can't control the narrative of other people's feelings in other homes. No. You can't control how things are impacted elsewhere. What you can control is your home and doing your best.
Totally.
And if loving from your heart, loving from the place of you that gives you complete love without conditions, means that you have to be a parent. Totally. That means you have to run your role, right? Do it.
It's tough.
Trust yourself, back yourself. Stop doubting yourself in this role, because your doubt will impact your relationship with your stepchildren later.
And they feel it. So the thing is with kiddos, because I say toddlers and teens are the same. So my goodness, like when people have toddlers and teens, you just take 10 years off a teen. Honestly, it's crazy. But I just, the role of a parent is so important, or just a caregiver or someone that loves somebody, full stop. And the preteen teen situation is a very sensitive situation for everybody, and the world that we live in now is fucking insane. And it's much harder to parent, no matter what anyone says, because the older generation are like, it's not that bad, what do you got to worry about? So much more. Well,
we spoke about this yesterday in a few interviews I did. We're in an era now where the first era of parents parenting kids with social media. But it's fucked. It's a whole other layer.
It's exciting though, because I feel like we were, meaning Eloise is 20, so she was the beginning of it, right? And we were like, what the hell is this? What's going on? How do we protect them? There was this thing called family zone. The government, no one talked about it, right? We just were out on our own. And so we did the best to protect her, did okay. But, oh, my gosh, the stuff that she'd come home from school telling us, because other kids just had free reign. And Molly, our middle, love you, Molly, if you ever hear this, she was in the depths of, we had no control. Right. And so Izzy, 14, we're like, let's go to school, we love you. But the government's just passed a law, 36 plus months. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's passing on the 10th of December, and it is, you cannot get social media till you're 16. Now, I have contacted them because I'm like, really?
Yeah, like there's a way around it. There's a way.
They reckon they've spent a whole year. So for Izzy, who's only 14, I don't think I'm going to be able to take it from her. But if you've got younger kids that haven't got it, they're not going to be able to get it.
So with when the girls go to school, all the social stuff's blocked. They can't get on Snapchat or anything.
Same. But there's something new. Like if your eldest has already got it, I don't think you're going to be able to stop it. But all your younger kids, they're not going to be able to.
What about fake accounts and things like that?
No, they've been able to work through that.
Interesting.
I know. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Because absolutely fake accounts, all of that sort of stuff. But like I said, I privately messaged them because I'm like, this is spectacular, but And they're like, no, we've spent a whole year figuring out how to make sure that they can't do that.
Okay, got it.
So if that's
Cool.
the case
Great.
for your younger kids,
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, well, on this trip even, like Steve was like, fuck it, we're getting iPads because there was a few rainy days there for a minute. And I said, no, I'm holding out on this. And he's like, well, I can't live like this, Kris. It's too hectic. And I'm like, they were a nightmare.
Do you know what? TV's okay.
We got Nintendos.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, Eloise said.
The Nintendo.
I said, great. But, you know, iPads, phones, no way, no way, no way. As like if I had this information when the kids were smaller, because they get it at school and stuff like that, you know. And I talk about this to my families all the time. Try and hold it as much as you can, you know, because it does. There's a whole other. I don't even know how. It's like the devil. It's evil part of parenting that you have no control of if you don't have control. If that makes sense.
You need control on it. You need to have your pulse.
We tried to understand. Like we tried to, but our kids have ADD, neurodiverse brains, anxiety, you know, mental health. Like it was horrific, and so that phone, for Molly in particular, was that dopamine numbing. So anyway, that's a whole other.
My two kids should we be going down that road? Gary Vee talks about often. You are the parent. Take the phone.
It's not easy when they get a bit older, though.
No, I know.
They've got a voice and they want to scream.
I know, and then he's like, you got to deal with that. You got to cop that. Cop that on the chin and move along.
Totally.
You know, there's only so many times they're going to whinge about it, and soon they'll just come back to their truth. And you know, I'm curious whether a lot of these problems our kids are experiencing because of the phones. 100%. You know what I mean? The 100%. Reinforcement of language, of 100%. Negative language, of self-hate, of 100%. I look fat, I look ugly, I'm this, I'm that. Oh my God, look at my makeup, it's so bad today. But it's like, you're the hottest thing I've ever seen.
Totally.
Like, I have to mute and audit consistently.
Me too. And I'm 50.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, we can.
We're going off topic again.
There's so many things to talk about, though, because I feel like we've just got similar feelings on things and, you know, like.
Yeah, we thought this might happen, but that's okay.
That's exciting. So like I was saying, so me being in the conscious parenting sort of spaces and stuff like that, again, it's already sounding like you're very much aware of yourself and your triggers and trying to do the best and generational traumas and patterns and trying to change that. I also say to my parents often when they're feeling really dysregulated, because obviously that can happen, and it's especially as they get older and there's lots of yelling and screaming. What would be your go-to to ground yourself in that situation? Like quick, like this is driving me sane. I'm going to lose my mind as well. Do you have something that you do?
So the one thing that we are born with, every single person on earth, and the one thing that we die with.
Yeah.
The final thing.
Breath.
That's it.
Yeah.
Breath.
Yeah.
So it is getting your fucking breath. Whether you need to scream the breath out into a pillow, whether you need to, my son has the tactic with his fingers, which is really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you saw my box breathing is fantastic, but if you don't have that toolkit, essentially, go into your kitchen, grab an ice cube, shove it in your mouth, and just take big long breaths through your nose. 60 seconds. Give me 60 seconds and tell me you feel the same way. Yeah. You can't. If you got
you can't.
If you got a pool, jump in. I don't care if it's winter. Water and ocean is the most soothing thing for me. If it's accessible, it's not always accessible.
Cold water on your face. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish it was accessible for me all the time, but what I'm really embodying and integrating to my youngest ones right now is their feelings cannot be held in the body. So the word emotion, linguistically speaking, is energy and motion. So we need to move through it in any capacity that we can, whether that is sad, whether that is mad. I'm not sure if you saw my Instagram post last week, but Lola came into me. I was at my fucking end. And I mean, because Jess doesn't listen. He listens to Steve. As soon as Steve asks, he does. As soon as I ask.
It's so exhausting, isn't it?
It's just like he ignores me. It's like I'm not there.
You know what it is, and this is what I say to all the parents and mums particularly, where they're safe. They can do what the fuck they want whenever they want, and if they're in a bad mood and they've been fighting with their sibling, you're going to cop it and they're not going to hear, you know.
Yeah, so I was at my end anyway with him and I was just done and I was so angry and I said, I hate feeling this angry. And Lola goes, Mummy, we don't need to hold anger in our body. You put it into your hands, blow it into your hands and push it out.
That's conscious
push it
parenting
away. Right there. My 5-year-old come to me and told me to push the anger out of my fucking body.
You're teaching her.
And I was like, this is epic. This is amazing. Changing a full generation of kids and emotions. Thank you.
So the way that I also talk about it in the conscious parenting, conscious relationship space is everything takes time too, right? So you're doing a great job implementing these changes and some days will be really shit and you'll be like, shit at this, and the next day you're back onto it and that happens. You're like, oh my gosh. I simply explain it, especially with toddlers. You know, our children need to learn the alphabet, they need to learn numbers. So, you know, you might have on the back of the toilet the charts and stuff like that, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it takes months, years for them to learn. Conscious parenting, aware parenting is exactly the same. So that is a perfect example of how many times you've told her. And sometimes you might be thinking, this is not getting in their head at all.
Yeah.
That is what you've
And
done.
then eventually
the 100 times that you've explained that to her, she's used it for you. And that is conscious parenting right there, you know, is like they have to be repetition, and modelled. Also being kind to yourself when you have shit times.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's okay to have that losing your mind. I'm sorry. And I also say tear and repair. You accidentally, or you're human, we have an amygdala. Don't bash yourself up about it. Repair. Not in the heat of the moment, but like mummy was really tired and all of that. And I think that's a beautiful thing to think of as well, you know, especially when you've got dynamics of different children coming in and that sort of stuff. So well done to you with that. So also what we're talking about, what I talk to my parents about a lot is, we're sleeping with each, you know, like sleeping with siblings and stuff like that. What's your sort of take on that in regards to, sleeping environments with kids sleeping with, like, is sleep important to you?
Oh, sleep is fucking everything. I haven't slept for 7 years, so no. I have.
You get up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
I do get up at 4.
Crazy.
Everyone sleeps through and we all sleep together.
Yeah, totally.
So we all sleep together. The kids don't go to bed together. They come in and they stay because I can't be fucked with it.
That's totally fine.
I've done multiple different sleep trainings. We've done it from when Jesse, just before Lola come along, we did in depth.
Yep.
It worked. He was amazing. He would self-soothe, put himself down. He'd wake up. He slept through. It was fantastic. And then it shifted when she was born because she was in bed with mummy and daddy. So he realised he could go to bed with mummy and daddy.
Yeah.
Same thing again. She didn't know any different. So hilarious. So he was still going to bed with us, but I'd put her down first. So she had no idea Jessie I'd be laying with him to go to bed in his bed. And then she got to an age where she was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why don't you lay with me? And because I just shut the door. Night, Lola. Night, mummy. Love you. Shut the door.
Yeah,
and then she figured it out. And I'm like,
then you've got a whole big bed.
So now it takes about an hour to get them down because I lay with her first. Meditation on. The meditation puts them to sleep every night. Eloise had them the other night, and she messaged me. I said, put the Maddie on.
I think you were out one night, and they're like, "Oh, we're not tired. We're not going to sleep." And Eloise like, "Okay, no worries." And then she said they were so funny because the meditation went on, and they were trying to fight it, and they're like, their eyes are going to sleep.
Jessie goes, we don't go to sleep for babysitters. I said, this is the first babysitter you've had.
That's
Jessie, little shit.
They're so clever though, aren't they? They're so smart.
So look, it's go with the flow. They've had a lot of sleepovers, like at my mum's place when Steve and I have business trips or Steve and I are away or whatever, and we have date night sometimes. I was staying at my mum's once a fortnight at one point. So the transition from that, and that was like for about a year because we'd have nights, dinners with just the two girls, and Steve and I would go out for dinner. And then on the off week, it would be me and Steve get a date night. So it was kind of worked out really well.
You know?
It was a way we could prioritise it. Midweek, we'd all be home early. It wouldn't be a big one. It was just an easy way to get time together and with the girls. We can't do that. Unfortunately, my mum's hours have changed with work. But yeah, look, sleep is tricky.
Eloise over there.
Yeah, pretty much. Sleep's tricky, and I feel for parents that are in it. I'm still in it. It is easier to put them in your bed. I get that. I do it all the time. When Steve's not there, I'm like, oh, cool, I can go to bed at 7:30 and the kids can sleep with me, and it's just done.
Oh, totally.
For them to sleep with me, they just cuddle into me. I'm cool, but, it's just.
And that's what I say to everyone around sleep, because sleep is my passion as well, is if it works for you. You know? And the thing is with sleep as well, it is habitual, meaning like exactly what you just said about Lola. Like they're so used to doing something, it works, but if they're like, I'd rather sleep with you, then they choose to do that,
Absolutely.
So I suppose, again, we could talk about so many different things, but I think the takeaway today was obviously the way that you've been able to embrace parenting with stepchildren and with parents, and it's, I think, fantastic that you're able to share that, because I think it's a very sensitive topic.
Yeah, and I think it's very scary for a lot of women that are going into it, and men included, and there's a lot of men that are doing it as well. They've taken on kids that aren't theirs, and they're not getting it's not spoken about enough. It's not rewarded enough in terms of the online space as too, because, you've got Mother's Day and Father's Day and all the beautiful things, and this is why I wrote a letter on Mother's Day to dear step-moms, because whilst I have a gorgeous relationship with my girls, and they're with their mum most years. Last year they did choose to spend it with me, which was really beautiful, and I was grateful for that, because it has been a long time where they go back the day before.
Totally.
And I've woken up with my kids and I'm like, oh, oh, but it feels
them.
it's
Yeah.
missing a piece,
Yeah.
which is so hard because you want
Very
to, you've got your beautiful kids and are making cards and doing stuff. I'm like, where's the other half to
I
it?
must be constantly evolving in your heart.
Yes.
Because then you also have to think of the mother that wants their
Yeah,
children as well,
and
you
of
know.
course, cool.
You know,
Like
it's
I
the whole
guess that,
thing. Yeah, it's tough.
yeah. It is hard. So I just think it needs to be spoken of more, normalized more in conversation.
I think so.
Maybe challenging the norm of what's expected and how to manage things. And for women that are going into this new season and potentially don't have a relationship with their stepchild, whether you have someone for 10 months, 10 weeks, 10 years, whether you've been around. Just keep working on you, keep healing your wounds, keep focusing on your worthiness and ensure that you're not projecting your pain and your wounds to a child. Like at the end of the day, they're another person to love and it is kind of fucking magical.
It is. And you've just explained conscious parenting again. So really you've just gone back into, I think, the trials and tribulations of becoming a mother, even like when it's your own. I was blissfully unaware. Well, I knew that I had lots of trauma to heal, but not until you have children and they get to the point of actually being a little bit challenging where the mirror is fully in your face.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think the takeaway that I'm hearing you saying, which I think is great for a stepmom or stepdad, is if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling uneasy with things, heal yourself and stay connected the best you can. Because it isn't just about you. Like this is where it's hard as a parent is when things hurt you or things aren't working out, it's very easy to think, poor me, and then that affects your relationship with the children. So,
absolutely,
digging that deep. So on the other thing before we finish up is you are a mindset life coach. So obviously if people are struggling in this space or because you work with mostly women?
Mostly women. I have worked with men and I have worked with couples as well.
So it would probably, you'd obviously on your one-on-one, like how can people work with you?
Yeah, cool. So I am about to close my books for Inside Out Coaching, which is
okay. So can you tell me a little bit about that? Because
Inside Out Coaching, there is going to be a brand new, very exclusive and specific business launch for blended families and their parents. Yes. So that is
well.
In the
there
works.
we go.
Yeah.
So
I don't know when this episode comes out, but I might. That's hopefully at the same time.
Yeah. But we can. When is it coming out?
No one knows. No one knows about this new project that I've been working on quietly in the background. The website's almost done. The podcast almost done. There's lots going on in the background of that. So ways to work with me. Inside Out Coaching will continue. That still exists. So that will be very limited in positions. I'm still. So is that
one-on-one?
Is that one-on-one? Yep. So I do 6-month one-on-one containers for high-level women who are ready to do a deep dive in personal development and growth. The other container is a 6-week intensive. So you get me for 6 weeks. We go all in. It's short. It is speedy. You get results fast. It does do a deep dive, but it's that little bit shorter framework and the lower investment as well. And then I also have a program, a course, a five self-paced course.
Like a Kajabi sort of base.
Yeah, something that is putting everything I know, everything I am into one small container for women to push themselves through. To get started somewhere. It's a great entry-level piece.
Awesome.
I know that it's not going to be enough for the women.
No, but some people have never heard of it. 100%. And, I love meeting people like yourself because we talk the same talk. It's like a different language, and all the women that I've been meeting, I've just been on an amazing retreat. Yeah. And everybody talks the talk. And it's just energetically we all plug into each other and we're talking that talk in a new language that people have never heard. But to start small, it's going to heal everybody. Like everyone can heal themselves with support.
Yeah, and look, if you're ready to break free from these old patterns, these shadows that are fucking with your life, the self-doubt, the procrastination,
shitty stuff happening,
guilt, shame, like if any of this is existing for you and you're just like feeling the like lean into that. Get the mentor, find the right fit, find the fucking person. I have literally this morning I reinvested in a mentor because I went, I
always do. Totally.
I love it. I love being called out. I love being up-leveled. I love the evolution of me. Like I will never be the same person for more than a couple of months. I just shift too quickly.
And the thing is, it's like, what's happening here? And sometimes up-leveling has been lonely. Not anymore because I'm really
connecting with the right people. Yeah.
Connected and also really happy with who I am, like authentic self. But it's just, meeting people. Oh my gosh, what else can I learn? So that's amazing. So when are you thinking the launch of the step? Okay. I think it's going to a lot.
Yeah, I've been here trying to do it,
actually.
and as you know, I've only had your daughter for limited time.
Yes.
So if I could have had it every day, I would have. And I would have got a lot more work done. But I can't open my laptop with my kids, so
No.
yeah. Work.
And, you know, the thing is, there's two parts to that. It can be frustrating, but also what I say to parents, and especially mums, it's a limited time, and they want their mum. They don't give a shit that you want to be an entrepreneur. They don't give a shit you want to save people's lives. They don't give a shit you want to make money. They want your time. So it's really trying to space out that, carve out that time. So I think I will launch at the same time. I think it'll be amazing.
Yeah, cool.
And because I think people need you, like especially in this really unique space.
I've received thousands of messages with that Dear Stepmom letter, and
you?
thousands of messages. I can't tell you how
So
many.
this is why you've opened up that new
off, and
space.
it was like, okay, cool. So I thought people needed it. I think I was scared myself. I think I limited myself because I'm like, oh, this
it's
really
vulnerable.
holds my reflection up. This really means I have to look inward on myself, and I have to be aware of, circumstances that might be triggering from my childhood and things like that. And I'm like, no, I can do this, and I need to do this because women need it. They are struggling. Men are struggling.
They need it.
I've had so many messages from men throughout that as well.
Good.
Men tagging their wives that are stepmoms going, I love you and I appreciate you to that letter. Like, fuck, I've had people message me asking to get it printed. Wow. They want to put it in their house.
Amazing.
So,
I love that. Again.
Special.
Well, good on you. It's very exciting.
Thank you.
It's definitely a beautiful space to be in. And, like you said, beautiful space to be in. It is vulnerable, and the thing is you'll be very careful what you share anyway. Yeah. And but you'll be helping so many families and, especially in the world that I'm also in with mental health and sharing that with Eloise's journey and stuff like that. People just reach out because they're so stuck, scared, and when they've got someone that they can trust and follow and help them through those tough times that they're not by themselves, it's life-changing.
Oh, for sure. My stepdaughter, one of the two, Lexis, actually mentioned, she's like, oh, can I come on the podcast and have a talk? And I was like, it would really empower a lot of other young kids that might be experiencing feelings and things going on for them as a stepchild or, with a step parent, or maybe they don't get along with their step parent, and maybe we can talk about, some. And she's like, yeah, whatever, I'll talk about whatever. She's so funny. So she's ready to go on camera, lights, camera, action. That child, I love her.
But that was Eloise. Like she went through really terrible times, and she was suicidal, and it was horrific. And we're on the other side, and you know her now, so I don't know if you knew that about her, but she's such a beautiful human. But I'm in these spaces, and she was asked to interview about that, and she said, yeah, she was 18, just turned 18, and I'm like. And then we're driving there and I'm like, you don't have to do this. And she did. And it's been life-changing for other kids, other people, kids her age have contacted her. I've had so many mums who know me like, oh, my gosh, we're going through this. And it's a really awful subject to talk about, but we've got tools and then we're on the other side. Thank the Lord. Good on you. Yeah, thank you so much for today. It's been lovely.
Yeah, great.
I'm sure there'll be a part 2 and good luck with
there will.
With the program with step parenting.
Thank you.
Thank you. So if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave me a rating and review. I love reading all of your messages, so shoot me a DM over on Instagram. It is parentingcollective.au. I also offer a free 15-minute no-obligation phone chat. If you'd like to book one, head over to my website, www.parentingcollective.com.au, and request one there. So try to remember to be kind to yourself and always know you're doing the best you can every day, no matter what your day is looking like. Until next time, much love.